What's up, you guys? In today's video, we are going to change the spark plugs and the coils in a 2007 Porsche Cayman. A few weeks ago, I went on a small road trip with some Lamborghinis out to the Bonneville Salt Flats. And unfortunately, I got some water in my 4th cylinder coil pack, and it is misfiring a little bit. So I thought perfect timing to change the spark plugs and the coils. And I'm gonna walk you through that today. I have my car running right now, and let's see if we can't catch one of the misfires so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, so you can hear that little misfire. Hopefully changing the spark plugs and the coils are going to fix the problem. So first, let's check out the things that we will need to do the spark plug change. First, you're gonna need a jack to jack the car up. Next, you're gonna need new coils and new spark plugs. So here are the ones that I bought. I will include a link to where I purchased them in the description. I got them both off Amazon. They are Bosch spark plugs, and I believe it's pronounced Nepal Performance coils. You're also gonna need a socket set. I'm not quite sure exactly what sizes yet, because I've never done this yet, and we're doing it together. Next, we're going to need a torque wrench, which I purchased after my first oil change video. And then you'll need some jack stands. We'll have to put the jack stands in the rear of the car because you're gonna have to remove the rear wheels. So let's get started. All right, first step is we have to loosen all the lug nuts on the 2 rear tires. To do that, we're going to need our 3/4 inch socket with an extension and a 19mm socket. We'll go around, loosen the bolts just a tad, so that way when the tires are up, we can loosen them up all the way and take the tires off. So as you'll notice, there are 4 sockets that are 19mm, and then there's one that's a locking lug nut. If your car's still stock, your key for that should be up underneath the front trunk, right next to where that little teeny toolkit is to reach the front headlights. So make sure you grab that, and then we will loosen the lug nuts. So the lug key is in the front trunk behind this little panel. Pull this off, and it's just right over here. So that is the lug key. So make sure you use that, or else you can't get the tires off. Okay, once both of the rear tires' lug nuts are loosened, we're gonna go ahead and jack the car up. Before we do that though, we want to put some wheel chucks in the front wheels. So I went outside and found some rocks. So I shoved this rock behind that wheel, put it in the front, there on both sides, and pretty sure it's not going anywhere. So next step is you're gonna grab your jack, and we're gonna go jack it up from the back of the car. We're gonna jack the whole back of the car up first. Slide jack stands in, and then we'll go from there. And I also have a real wheel chuck. So here we are at the back of the car with our jack, and we're going to jack up from the center of the rear so that both of the rear tires go up, and we can put 2 jack stands on the jack points. So what you want to do is roll your jack underneath the car, and we're going to jack up from this post. So this post connects to the frame over there and over there. But you want to be careful of is this metal sheet. You can bend this, so make sure that you jack it right underneath the bar. To help, I have a little piece of wood on here, and it should work just fine, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yep. So once you have the car jacked up enough, go ahead and slide your jack stands under. We're gonna use the same jack points as in my oil change video, which are right here. Go ahead and slide that under, just like that. And then we'll lower the car down onto the jack stands. All right, once the car is on the jack stands, go ahead and remove all the lug nuts and remove the wheels. All right, once you got the tire off, just go ahead and set it aside. And the next step if you come in here, the next step is we need to access the coils and the spark plugs. So to do that, we're going to have to take out the wheel well. First things first, we have to take this piece out. If you come up close, you can see this. Right here, this is just a piece of plastic, it's a little guard. We'll have to take that out, and then we'll have to take this piece out. To do that, there's 2 screws down here, a bolt up here, this screw, bolt, bolt. So we'll go ahead and take those out. I know for these 3 screws, you're going to need a Torx, a 25 Torx bit right here. For this nut, this one and this one, you're gonna need a 10mm socket. They fit right on there and they unscrew. But this is the piece that's gonna come off first, then this one. We'll go ahead and take that off now, and then we should have access to the coils and the spark plugs. All right, so once you got the nuts and the screws out, here are the nuts right here in my hand, here are the screws. Go ahead and set those aside. You're gonna take this plastic part off first. Really, it just slides right off. Very, very simple, self-explanatory. Slide it right out, set it aside. Then you're gonna take this bigger one out. Same kind of thing, just take it off the post and it slides right out. Very, very simple. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out and then we can access the coils. Okay, so here we are. We've taken the wheel well out and you have perfect access to the coils. As you can see, there's coil for the front cylinder, middle, and rear. And you'll see there's 2 bolts per coil. And what those are torque bits. I'm not sure exactly what size. Let's see. It is a T40 Torx. So those bolts are a T40 Torx. Let's see if you can see that T40 right there. So you may need the extension on your 3/4 inch socket to get those out. But what you're going to do is you're going to loosen up the bolts, and then once you're done loosening them up, you're going to see that those are the wires that connect to the coils. So what you're going to do is lift up the rubber gasket and then unplug them before you take them all the way out. And we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, here you can see I've taken 1 bolt out of the coil pack, left the other one in, and I realized you need to unhook the wires first before you take the bolts out. It's very easy. You slide this rubber housing up, and you can see right here there's a little clip. What you're going to do is use your fingernail and just unhook that. It's real easy. Bam, done like that. And then if you can get your hand in, you just slide the wire straight up, and it should just unhook. It's really hard to do it with one hand. But you get the gist of it. That just unhooks and slides right up. And you're gonna do that for all 3 of them. And we'll go from there. All right, we've taken both bolts out and we've unhooked the wire on this first coil. What you're gonna do is basically just pull straight out. You're gonna have to twist it a little bit to get it undone. And there it is. So this is the old coil right here, bad one. What we're gonna do is just set that aside, and we'll go get the next 2. All right, so as you can see, we've unplugged and removed all 3 coils here on the driver's side. This front one is the 4th cylinder. That's the one that was misfiring, and this is the one that is the hardest to get out. See these 2 cords, or these 2 hoses? They're right in the way. So you're gonna have a lot of trouble with that. And that's on every forum I've read and everything. So you're pretty much just gonna have to deal with it, but it is possible. So what we're gonna do now is we have my 3/4 inch socket with an extension, and then a 5/8 spark plug socket on the end with the little rubber gasket in there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide this all the way down in there, loosen up the spark plugs, and pull them right out. That rubber gasket in the socket's meant to help you remove them. So we'll do that now. So we've removed the 3 coils and plugs from the driver's side. As you can see, there's a huge difference. These are the stock ones. Those are my new ones. The first main difference is the color. Hopefully that adds some performance. Here are the spark plugs. As you can see, they're nice and black. The 4th cylinder, the one that was misfiring, smells really strongly of oil, so it was definitely in need of a change. So what we're going to do is we're going to install the new plugs. Same way we took these ones out with that wrench, we'll put them in, and then we will torque them down. I have a torque wrench this time, it's right there. So we'll make sure we get the right specs, and then we will go ahead and put the new coils on. We will torque those bolts down and we'll plug them in, and then we will go to the other side. The other side's exactly the same process. I won't film it to save you guys some time. It's the exact same process. It's even easier because you don't have that hose in the way. But we'll go ahead and install the new plugs and coils. So here we are, we have our new spark plug right in there, and we're gonna just put it right in the that hole. We'll put it all the way in. We'll just finger tighten it first. We'll finger tighten all three, and then we'll torque them down. Okay, you guys, I've finger tightened all three of the spark plugs. Now we're going to torque them down. So the torque specs for this is 22 pound-feet of torque. So I have my torque wrench set to 22 pounds. It's really tough to get this huge torque wrench in there. So what I did is I had another extension, and then I made two extensions put together so I could reach. And this just seems to work for me, like no problem at all. So what you're gonna do is get it in there and then just tighten until it clicks. And then that's at 22 pounds right there. So you're gonna do that for all three. And then you'll be all done with this side. And then basically it's the exact same for the other side, like I said. So I will tighten these up and then we'll go to the plugs. All right, I put the new coil in. It's very simple, it just slides right in. And then you finger tighten the bolts. You put the cord back on, you slide the boot back over. And then what you wanna do is you wanna torque these two bolts down to 7 pound-feet of torque. And it's very, very light torque. So that's all you do. You just torque those down to 7, and then you do the same with that one, and then same with the other 3 on the other side. And then you'll be all set. Okay, on the driver's side here, I have all 3 coil packs, all 3 new spark plugs installed, torqued down to spec, and clipped back in. So the driver's side is now done, and you can see how easy it is. I'm gonna go over and do the passenger side. I don't need to show you that because it's literally the exact same, just flipped. But I will show you once I'm all done. I'll start it on up so you can see that it in fact does run, and this is how you properly install spark plugs and coils. But thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next videos.